Mẹ nha. Explore a coral reef. Coral reefs are busy underwater places where many colorful animals and plants live. Some people think coral reefs are made of rocks or shells, but that's not so. Coral reefs are actually made up of tiny living creatures called coral polyps. These animals are only about 4.4 inches across. It takes millions of coral reefs to make one reef. Different polyps form different kinds of coral. Coral can be many different colors. It can be interesting shapes and sizes too. Coral reefs are located in warm, shallow water, usually near land. The biggest coral reef in the world is Australia's Great Barrier Reef. The Great Barrier Reef is about 1.260 miles long. Imagine you are swimming near a coral reef. What animals might you encounter? First, you would see the brightly colored coral. What's coral made up of? Coral polyps. So that's one animal you would see. There are many more animals living in the coral reef, though. Most fish around the coral reef have bright colors and patterns. Marine fish have colorful striped patterns to warn bigger fish to stay away. If you see a butterfly fish, you may think it has eyes on its head and its tail. Lionfish has spines to defend themselves against predators. Lobster, shrimp, and crab live in the reefs too. Don't be fooled by the sea animals. They look like flowers, but they are not. Then there's the giant clam. It can grow up to 4 feet wide and can weigh 500 pounds. Be careful though. You might encounter sharks or barracudas that are hunting for food near the reefs. And don't stick your hand in a hole in the reef. A moray eel may be living in it. Coral reef habitat. Sea anemone, moray eel, lionfish. Coral reef food web. Coral polyps, parrotfish, moray eel. Coral polyps. Parrotfish eat coral polyps. Moray eel eat parrotfish. Pufferfish eat coral polyps. Dam sailfish eat coral fish. Barracuda eat pufferfish. Shark eat barracuda. Shark eat damselfish. Coral polyps eat plankton. Sponges eat plankton. Shark eat squid and butterfly fish. How do the animals that live near a coral reef survive? Like you and me and all other living things, they need food. What do they eat? They eat each other. The food web shows what the animals eat. Tiny plants and animals called plankton are food for many of small animals, such as coral polyps, then parrotfish, pufferfish, and other small fish eat coral animals. Coral polyps. The big animals eat the small animals. Some of the biggest animals, such as sharks and barracudas, will eat big animals too. The arrows on the food web point to what the animals eat. Let's follow the arrow for the moray eel. We see it eats parrotfish. Then the parrotfish eats coral reefs, and they eat plankton. Moray eel eats parrotfish, and then parrotfish eat coral reefs, polyps, and then coral polyps eat plankton. This part of the food web is called a food chain. A food web is made up of many food chains. As you can see, not all animals have the same taste in food. Can you name the animals in the food chain of the barracuda? This is a barracuda. The shark is a barracuda. The barracuda eats the pufferfish, and then the pufferfish eats the coral polyps, and then the coral polyps eat the plankton. It is important that all the animals in the food web survive. What happens if one part of the food web disappears? All the other parts of the web react. It is a chain reaction. If there are no tiny plants and animals, the coral polyps won't have food to eat. If the coral polyps disappear, what will the small animals eat? That's why it is important to protect all the plants and animals in the food web. It takes a very long time for a coral reef to grow. That's because a coral reef grows only about 1 inch in a year. Think of how many years it took for a Great Barrier Reef to form. But today, coral reefs are in danger. Parts of many coral reefs have already been destroyed. Scientists think that many of coral reefs will completely disappear. That's because some people are not careful. They may step on or touch the coral, which can kill it. People can make pieces of coral home or a fish for animals that live there. All these things can damage the coral reefs and interrupt their food web. People also pollute the oceans with garbage. Pollution can kill coral reefs. What possible steps can you take to help protect coral reefs? Spread the word. Don't pollute. Suggest that people stop dumping garbage that can damage the reefs. Tell people to look but to not touch. When they explore the beautiful coral reefs, with everyone's help, coral reefs can survive.